The demand for energy is growing more and more dynamically. We can't imagine living without air conditioning, fridges, cars, light, or industry. Analyzing the history of progress, we can conclude that what was an important factor affecting the fall of civilizations was excessive damage to the natural environment in which and thanks to which they developed. The methods of acquiring energy and the sources from which we've derived this energy so far devastated nature around us and threatened the lives of numerous animal species. Renewable ways which are safe for nature are still insufficient, and there are no signs that this situation has significantly improved. Nature imposes limits on us, and if we don't take them into account, we'll generate problems we won't be able to solve later on. What we can do in this situation to protect the environment on one hand and at the same time develop in line with our needs. How can we wisely and responsibly take care of humanity's growing energy needs and the environment simultaneously, which requires cleaner and more sustainable technologies? The necessary step to achieve sustainable development is the microgrid. It's a self-sufficient energy system occupying a specific area surrounded by clearly defined electric, thermal, gas, as well as geographic boundaries. The area may include, for example, a factory, hospital complex, small town, office building or campus. A microgrid, depending on the local conditions, consists of various types of energy-generating devices, as well as short and long-term storage systems. The whole thing is steered by the management system, which is the heart of the microgrid and optimizes the energy generation, storage and consumption. The entire microgrid may be connected to conventional sources of energy, such as commercial grid-connected network with the dynamic tariff option. Furthermore, the microgrid also enables dynamic loads, which we can control in such a way that energy consumption is moved over time depending on certain conditions. In the example scenario of the microgrid operation, the building's demand is variable. It's marked with the black line in the chart. The cogeneration system is independent and works with a constant power. The controller collects in advance hourly energy prices for the next day. The current energy price is low, so the building and short-term storage units are powered from the grid. The rising sun allows the photovoltaic installation to generate its own energy, and thus purchasing it from the grid may be discontinued. The energy surplus is sent to the storage unit, and, apart from that, dynamic collection is added. A change in weather conditions results in switching on wind turbines. Unfortunately, at the same time, the total production of energy from own sources decreases. Consequently, the microgrid disconnects dynamic loads and supplements the demand with cheap energy from the grid. Favorable weather conditions result in significant surpluses in energy production. The microgrid switches on dynamic loads and charges the long-term, in this case hydrogen, storage system. A high energy price initiates the sale of the surplus from RES sources. Forecasting low purchase prices, the microgrid also sells energy from the short-term storage units before the next day starts. Thus, it provides economic benefits to the investor. It's temporarily supported by the long-term storage, limiting the import from the grid until the price reaches the level required by the investor. Upon achieving the required purchase price, the microgrid begins energy imports from the grid, covering the demand and charging storage systems. On that day, there aren't perfect weather conditions, and the price throughout the day is attractive, so the microgrid chooses the import from the network to supplement the RES sources. The long-term storage system remains at an unchanged level. The dynamic loads is switched on to the necessary extent despite the insufficient RES availability. The algorithm delayed switching it on in anticipation of the energy surplus. The missing part is supplemented from the grid. The additional consumption is compensated by selling a large part of the previously stored energy at a higher price than the one at which it was purchased during the day, which ensures economic balance. The presence of a small surplus of energy generated from its own sources allows the microgrid to meet demand and slowly charge the storage systems. A big part of the energy stored is sold, which largely balances economically with the energy purchased earlier. Some clients are disconnected from the network, enjoying full independence thanks to producing energy on their own. However, one doesn't need to go that far to increase one's energy flexibility. It's sufficient to invest in RES with the prospect of constructing a microgrid. At the same time, it should be borne in mind that each, even the smallest energy device, can be integrated with the microgrid. Reteco ensures the possibility of analysis and construction of a system of any complexity, which may consist of microgrid control and management, power supply and distribution system, battery energy storage system, mechanical energy storage system, which acts as a stabilizer of the microgrid parameters, photovoltaic shutters integrated with the building, ventilated photovoltaic facade, post and beam photovoltaic facade, photovoltaic skylight, industrial high-power hybrid inverter, single-axis tracker, double-axis tracker, smart city elements, bus stop, bench, lamp post, photovoltaic carport, electric car charger, wind turbine with a vertical axis integrated with the building, wind turbine with a horizontal axis, ground heat and cooling pump, heat or cold storage system, solar collector, electric boiler, high-efficiency cogeneration system, hydrogen-generating electrolyzer, hydrogen storage system, hydrogen filling station, fuel cell, small hydropower plant,